Please come in.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Please give us a brief introduction.
Sir, my name is Binoy I am from Sambalpur district of Odisha. I passed out my schooling from St. Joseph's Convent Higher Secondary School in Sambalpur. Then I did my plus 2 in Jinx Mentis Senior Secondary School in Vizag. And then I did my BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering in SOA University, Bhubaneswar, and passed out in the year 2011. After that, sir, I worked in Tata Consultancy Services from 2011 to 2014 as a software quality assurance engineer. And after 2014, I resigned and I have been preparing for civil services examinations, sir.
This is your first attempt?
No, sir, this is my third attempt in civil services.
So what happened in the previous two times?
So first attempt I qualified the prelims, but I was focusing completely on UPSC preparation, so I didn't give the mains examination, sir. In 2016 I didn't qualify in ODIA qualifying paper. In 2017 I skipped the attempt, sir, and in 2018 this will be my third attempt.
What about UPSC?
Sir, I have written 2 UPSC mains, and sir, this time also I have written the UPSC mains in 2018, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So what is the roll number for the exam?
Sir, 501561.
501-561.
Yes.
Okay, and your optionals?
Sir, sociology and geography.
Sociology and geography.
Yes.
Why this combination?
Sir, sociology, I found the syllabus and subject interesting, as well as like it will help me to broaden my knowledge in the social sphere, which will be helping me in administration. Third, sociology, I found it a bit easier subject and as well as mark scoring subject, sir. That's why I opted for sociology. And geography, sir, it is kind of a technical subject and also related with science. Since my background was science, so sir, I opted for geography. And I'm interested in studying geography also, sir.
Your home district is Sambalpur?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you tell me from where this term Sambalpur has been derived?
Sir, Sambalpur, the term was derived from the deity Ma Samleshwari, which was built in 15th or 16th century, and the term Sambalpur comes from the deity's name, sir.
Okay. And what about the number of subdivisions you have in Sambalpur?
Sir, there are 3 subdivisions in Sambalpur. First is Sambalpur subdivision, second is Cochinda subdivision, and third is Redapur subdivision, sir.
Okay. And how many blocks are there in your district?
Sir, 9 blocks and 9 subsets.
9 blocks and 9 sections.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, tell me something about any 3 great personalities from your district.
So first I will name Veer Surendra Sain. He was a freedom fighter, sir, and he revolted against the British. And he was the main freedom fighter of Western Odisha. Second is Sir Gangadhar Meher. He was a great poet of Odisha. He has written many proses and poets. And third, I'm not able to recall his third name.
Gangadhar Meher is known as which copy? Like, all various titles are given to various poets.
Yes, sir.
So, Gangadhar Meher is known as which? What is known as which copy? Are you aware?
No, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay. Check it whether it's called Swabhav copy. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then, Veer Surendra Sai belong to which dynasty?
I have not gone through the background.
Okay. He belonged to the Chauhan dynasty of Sambalpur. Okay. Right. So, tell me something about the geography of Sambalpur. mainly focusing on your neighboring districts, on your rivers in the district, and if there are some hills and all in your district.
Sir, Sambalpur lies in western Odisha, and its topography is mainly hilly terrain, like the hills of Bamra and all. These are hilly part, and then the plateau of Redakol and the plains of the Sambalpur district, sir. The Sambalpur district, in the north we have the Sundargarh district, and in the north west we have Jharsuguda district, sir. In the east, in the west we have Bargarh. In the south we have Sonpur and Ankol districts, and in the right we have Devgarh district, sir. This is the neighboring district, sir. And basically Sambalpur lies on the bank of river Mahanadi, and around 20 kilometers from the Sambalpur district lies the world's longest dam, that is the Hirakud Dam, sir. And Sambalpur experiences an extreme kind of climate, as in summers the temperature rises up to 47 degrees centigrade, and in the winters it goes around 10 degrees centigrade, sir. So this is the geographical climatic conditions of Sambalpur.
Tell me two issues which are specific to your district, okay, not general things like poverty and employment. Two problems which are specific to Sambalpur, and you may also suggest some solutions for those two problems.
So first problem is the Sambalpur district lacks industrialization, as 70 to 80% of the population in Sambalpur is basically practicing agriculture today. So most of the people are inside the informal employment, sir. So like we need to industrialize and establish industries in that district, sir. This will help in boosting the GDP of the district, as well as, sir, it will boost employment opportunities. Second is, sir, there is heavy amount of pollution from industries like Hindalco, which is present in Hirakud, as well as, sir, the congestion problem in the Sambalpur district, since it is an old district. Most of the parts are still lies in unplanned areas, so we need to have a proper town planning so that congestion as well as traffic problems will be resolved.
Okay. You did your 10th from St. Joseph's Convent Higher Secondary School.
Yes, sir.
It is named after some, historic figure, St. Joseph.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about St. Joseph.
St. Joseph, I guess he was the father of. I'm not sure about that, sir.
So go through it, okay?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the insignia of your school, the logo of your school, and the motto of your school?
Sir, the motto is "Truth alone triumphs." That is the motto of our school, sir. Insignia is a symbol, sir.
Yeah, that's a symbol.
Yes, sir. I don't remember, sir.
Okay. You don't remember that?
No, sir.
Okay. Plus 2 you have done from Zinc Smelter Senior Secondary School in Visakhapatnam.
Yes, sir.
This is what CBSE?
Sir, yes, sir, CBSE. Sir, actually I did it from boarding school of Vikas residential schools, but sir, they were affiliated with Zinc Smelter Senior Secondary School. So for that reason, our name comes in the certificate. It has been written as Zinc Smelter Senior Secondary School, but it was the boarding school Vikas residential school, sir, in Visakhapatnam.
So you have stayed in Visakhapatnam for 2 years?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you did your BTech from ITI.
ITI.
And you worked with Tata Consultancy Services as a
Yes, sir.
software quality assurance engineer.
Yes, sir.
From 2011 to 2014.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have done your graduation in electronics and telecommunication, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is a diode?
S- I need to revise the basic concepts and not yet concern.
Okay, no problem.
In
So,
graduation, I forward, sir.
okay, no problem. Just go through it first.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ask
I'll go through those
everything.
things. Yes, sir.
Your date of birth is 10th of December, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me what is the historical importance of 10th of December? Any historical happenings or any birthday or death anniversary of any great person on that day?
I'm not aware of it, sir.
Yeah, so two dates you have to prepare properly. Okay, first date is your birthday, second date is your date of interview. Why that date is important? Basically, some in history something must have happened on that day, so we prepare for it. Number one, and the date of interview once it is intimated to you. So what is important on that day? Okay,
Yes, sir.
and 1 or 2 days before and after that. That also you should do.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So you work with Tata Consultancy Service. So you got through campus placement.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what is basically, when you talk about Tata Consultancy Service, it is said to be the flagship company of the Tata Group. What is the current market capitalization of TCS? Do you know? Market value?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
Okay. So you were there for around 3 years, huh?
2 years, 10 months, sir.
2 years, 10 months, huh?
Yes.
Why did you leave the job? Like you are not satisfied with something or what?
No, sir. I liked the job. I was interested in that also, and I was getting good opportunities there. It was not that I was not interested, but sir, I always had an inclination towards administrative service. Since my father also served in the administration, sir, since childhood I have seen him as an administrative officer. So for that reason, I had an inclination. But after doing BTech, since I got a placement, I went and joined Tata Consultancy Services. But later on, I realized that I need to pursue my dream as a civil servant, and then I started preparation for UPSC as well as OPSC civil services.
Okay. So tell me, what are your reasons for your selection of your career in civil services? Why you want to become a civil servant?
So first reason is civil services offers us a great scope and the horizon to work in different departments. For example, an administrative officer as an OS, he can be posted in the health department, the education department, the energy department. So the work is never a monotonous thing. Second thing is the work is very much challenging. Then that like everyday new kind of issues or problems will be coming and we need to solve. Third thing is, sir, it helps us directly to interact with the people at the ground level and directly provide social, economic as well as political justice to them. Fourth thing is that, sir, there is a kind of job satisfaction. Like when we work for others, we have an inner satisfaction, which helps us to live a complete and fulfilled life. These are the main reasons that I want to join the civil services.
Okay. So how can you basically justify the fact that it has a diverse job profile? Can you give me examples of some posts, in which you have to do different things?
Sir, like for example, the post of the block development officer, sir, he works to promote the education, he works to promote the health services, he works to promote the infrastructural development of the district, he works to promote the he ensures that monitors all the governmental schemes reaches to the proper beneficiaries. So the work is very much diverse, sir. So we can work for poverty alleviation and we can work also for the developmental infrastructure. So it offers a great background, sir.
That is only like video you have said.
Yes, sir. Sir, for example, after an OS officer gets promoted to the rank of sub-collector, sir, in the post of sub-collector also, sir, it offers to work at the the subdivisional level, where he will be working for the health department, the education department, the developmental departments.
There are various departments. You
Yes,
work for various departments. Various departments have different jobs. That I
jobs.
understand.
Yes, sir.
At a more diverse scale.
So they work in the policy formulations also, sir. Policy formulation as well as policy implementation.
What about management of, what about management of like business, state businesses, or what you say, PSCs, state PSCs?
So sometimes the senior officers, they are also posted as chairmen of some of the state PSCs. For example, sir, senior OS officer may be posted as a chairman of the OMFED, as well as some other state PSUs. Sir, I am not able to give any specific names right now, but they are posted in senior management in the state PSUs, sir.
So that will require a different skill set. That will require that like you get maximum profit for your
yes, sir.
for your company.
Yes, sir. Sir, I will. Sir, they subsequently acquaint themselves with those skills, sir. Like an administrator, since he has a background and knowledge on everything almost. So, sir, he will be able to immediately change his profile and get acquainted with the new companies or the new work profile and accomplish his goals with proper dedication.
Okay. Your hobbies are meditation, reading self-development books,
Yes.
listening to Bollywood songs. Meditation. Can you tell me what is the origin of meditation?
So the origin of meditation lies in the book Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Sir, he gives an elaborate description on how what is meditation and how one should meditate and live a proper life. That is, and there is, he gives certain asanas for doing meditation also. Sir.
Okay. So, what are the different types of meditation that you know?
So types of meditation. So like I know different asanas.
Asanas. So that means you're talking
through
about
that.
yoga.
Yes, sir. Kind of yoga, sir.
Yoga. So there are several types of yoga, also several kinds of yoga. Do you know something about it?
No, sir. I don't know. I need to.
Like the Raja Yoga is there.
Raja Yoga is there, sir. Then Hatha Yoga is there. Then.
What is the difference between these Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga?
Sir, I don't know, but I would like to guess with your permission, sir. Sir, so they offer a different set of procedures, but the goal is ultimately the same, sir. To control the mind, body, as well as channelize our internal energy in the proper direction. But some in Hatha Yoga we have different postures and different practices. In Raja Yoga we have different practices. Mainly the Raja Yoga is being promoted by the Om Shanti Brahma Kumaris now, and the Hatha Yoga is being promoted by Sadhguru. And we have another kind of like Sudarshan Kriya also. We have another thing, sir, which is being promoted by the Art of Living now.
Have you heard about Surya Namaskar?
Yes, sir.
How many asanas are integrated in it?
Sir, 12 steps, sir. There are 12 asanas are there, sir.
Okay. Reading self-development books.
Yes,
What do you mean by self-development?
so self-development books is like which helps us to gain awareness about our own selves. For example, sir, the book by Sadhguru recently, which has been released, was Inner Engineering. Then, sir, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Then, sir, The Power of Positive Thinking, The Power of Our Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. These are the books which helps us to gain awareness about our own selves and helps us to control our mind as well as our emotions, so that we can work 100% efficiently in our lives and achieve our goals. So,
What is the most important quality of a civil servant? There may be many qualities. You tell me, according to you, which is the most important one and why?
so the most important quality which a civil servant should possess is integrity, sir. So without integrity, however efficient he might be, he will misutilize his position as well as the resources, and it will be detrimental for the society as well as the nation in large. So, sir, integrity is the foremost and the most important attribute.
And just reversing the question, what is the quality which is least desirable in a civil servant?
Least desirable is selfishness, sir. Sir, with a civil servant with selfish motive will never be able to serve the society and he will not be able to do justice to his post. So he should he should abstain from selfish motives during his work.
Special achievements you have left it blank. Why?
Sir, actually, I don't have any specific achievements per se, but I have always participated in many things. But I'm not.
What do you exactly mean by special achievement?
Special achievements means like standing first in some competition or some sports activities or something like that, or any other debate competition. That's I wanted to ask you about that, sir. Like I had doubts regarding that.
No, no, that is not special achievement. Would be like in your have you donated blood?
Yes, sir.
So blood donation is a special achievement. That is probably the most important achievement for any human being, because what he is doing that cannot be compared with any other thing. Okay, there is no alternative to human blood. If someone requires blood, then only one thing is possible. That is, it has to be, there has to be use of human blood. There is nothing like a synthetic blood or some other thing which can be used.
Yes.
Okay, so someone who is not donating a blood, his blood, basically in a sense, he's missing out. Okay, so anyone who has donated blood, maybe once, maybe regularly,
Yes.
so that is one of the greatest achievements, okay, for a human. Then
Yes.
apart from that, in your 10th, in your school, in your college, okay, you must have participated, you must have
I
in
participated
camps.
in tree plantation drives during
Yeah,
my
so
school.
these are
Sir,
achievements.
sir, and one more through when I was working in TCS, I participated through CSR activities we have, sir, corporate social responsibility. I
Yeah,
visited
so
orphanages and
that is what
we conducted so that can I mention?
Maitri.
Mine
Yes,
TCS
right,
Mine
right.
sir.
All of your colleagues are mentioning that, right? So those that you
Okay.
mentioned. If you don't tell about you, okay, to the board, how will they know?
Okay.
Okay, what is the
So, but I don't have any specific certificates for that.
No, for hobbies and achievements, no certificates are required.
Okay.
When you are saying that I used to take part in debate competition and I have won this and this prizes, so what they may do is they will just give you 1 minute to think about a topic and you have to speak for 2 minutes. Okay, they will analyze that. If you are saying that I am a blood donor, they'll ask you questions about blood donation. Okay, what are the precautions that you took, and after you donated blood, how the organizers treated you, generally what is to be done after someone has donated blood.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
and then questions on blood, donation and transfusion, okay, things like that. They don't ask for certificates per se, okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. And listening to Bollywood songs is also one of your.
Sir, that is like, should I write 3 hobbies or should it be limited to 2, sir?
Actually, there are 3 things here. One is sports. So in sports, what are you giving? Nothing.
No, sir.
Okay, well, then hobbies. Hobbies you have given. Okay, then extracurricular activities. NCC, debate, essay, quiz, volunteering. Those things can be there.
Volunteering can I put because I have volunteered for that.
Be specific. Volunteering for particular
organizing for annual functions in my school, or organizing picnics, or these kind of volunteering, or any seminar was like one biotechnology seminar was held in our college. I volunteered in that also.
So that you can write that. Okay.
Okay.
Volunteering, to organize events at school and college level. Okay, that you can write.
Okay,
So they'll ask you like what is your experience and all. That can be.
Okay,
So, but special achievement should not be blank. Okay, blood donation and all we can write.
okay, sir.
Okay. Now coming to your optional, sociology and geography you have taken. You told me why you have taken it. Okay. So can you tell me what is the contribution of Talcott Parsons to the field of sociology?
So Talcott Parsons was an American sociologist who was mostly a functionalist in his approach, and his greatest contribution is the social system theory to sociology and the pattern variables theory to sociology. So he tried to achieve, since there was proliferation of social theories in sociology before him till Max Weber, so he initiated and tried to build a macro theory through which the entire society can be studied. So he describes how the social system, in a social system theory, how the entire society can be fitted into a specific theory. This was his greatest contribution, sir.
Okay. Who first used the term reference group?
So the term reference group was used by Samuel Stauffer, I think, and then it was picked up by Aki Morton in his theory of reference group. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, have you heard about the Indian sociologist Jury?
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about his contribution
So,
and one of his illustrious students.
G.S. Ghurye has been celebrated as the father of Indian sociology, as it was Ghurye who established the Department of Sociology in Bombay University, so he has contributed greatly to the study of tribes, to the study of caste in Indian society, and he has done it from an ideological perspective. And one of his greatest students is M.N. Srinivas.
Okay. So, what are the main objectives of Indian marriage, or if you can put it that way, Hindu marriage?
So Hindu marriage has three broad objectives. It is dharma, kama and rati.
Dharma, Kama and Rati.
Dharma, praja and rati, sir. Sorry, sir.
What are they? Dharma?
So dharma is after being married, a person is able to do many rituals like the pindas, donation of pindas and also. And
Both husband and wife are required.
both husband and wife are required.
Praja?
So praja is procreation. It is only through marriage that the society progenerates itself and the members are recruited into the society.
And Rati?
Rati is for sexual pleasure. That is.
Okay. What are the reasons for the challenges to the institution of marriage in India, let's say in the last decade or so?
Challenges of institutional marriage.
Challenges to the institution of marriage in
Challenges.
India.
The institution of marriage today is being challenged from there are many factors, like factors are industrialization, nuclearization of joint families, and urbanization. So these are the major factors, and the challenges are like establishment of acceptance of living relationships, which has started replacing marriage as an institution, and so.
Okay. So your other optional is geography.
Yes, sir.
So can you tell me what is the difference between determinism and possibilism?
So determinism is for example, the theory of determinism, it states that man determines his external circumstance, and man can completely control the external environment. For example, environment. This is deterministic theory. But possibilistic theory is there is a possibility that man can undo or do changes in the future which he has done in the present, and create a favorable social environmental condition. That is possibilism.
Okay. You have studied about some theories of migration. What theories you have studied in human geography?
Sir,
Lavenstein's theory.
Yes, sir.
Lee's theory? No,
No,
you
sir.
have not studied.
No, sir.
Okay. You have studied von Thunen's theory.
Yes, sir.
Tell me something about it.
So, it is a theory propounded by J.H. von Thunen, and he was a farmer in Germany, and he basically deals with the agricultural location and regionalization theory. So, in his theory he gives how 6 zones are formed around an agricultural location or a small city, and first zone he deals with like for the perishable goods, and in the second zone it will be forests for timber, and in the third zone there will be agriculture with some other crops, and in the fourth zone it will be completely dedicated to agriculture, and the fifth zone, sir, I need to just go through.
Okay, fine.
And he introduces a river, and how the navigation introduction of a navigation system changes the zonation. It does not change the zonation, but the zones develop around the river after the introduction of a navigable river.
Okay. So, can you tell me any two landforms, one erosional and one depositional, which is formed by groundwater, karst topography?
Sir, erosional landform is poles and dolines, and depositional landforms are stalactites and stalagmites.
Okay. So, your first preference is Odisha Administrative Service.
Yes, sir.
What is the rank structure of Odisha Administrative Service? How many ranks are there?
Sir, a rank is sir, from it starts with OS Junior Branch, that is BDO and Tahsildar, sir. Then we come to Senior Branch, that is the rank of Sub Collector, and then, sir, we have the Super Time Scale, that is the rank of Collector. Then we have the Senior Administrative Grade SAG grade, which deals with the Joint Secretary and Additional Secretary level, I guess. So, that is the highest SAG that post for OS.
Special Secretary?
Special Secretary, I'm not aware of it, so like I've heard Special Secretary, but I don't know the exact location in the OS hierarchy.
Okay, 5 ranks are there, right? Last one being Special Secretary.
So like after that
SAG, Superior Administrative Grade,
okay, sir.
you have Special Secretary. It is the 5th and the highest rank.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
So,
First is Under Secretary, then
first, what you said is correct. Okay,
Okay.
that is junior branch.
Junior Branch.
Okay, first, once you are selected, you join as a training reserve officer.
Yes, sir.
Once you are deputed, given the posting, I think it is like deputy collector, or you can get BDO, Tahsildar. There are many other posts also. For example, under secretary to the RDCs, and many other posts are there. But these three are most numerous. There used to be a post of additional sub collector also
Okay, sir.
for the settlement work, but that is now, that post is the work is done, so that is generally it is not been given now yet. So mainly these three, and then we have then you go to the senior branch, okay, then super time scale, superior administrative grade, and finally special secretary, like special secretary OPSC.
Okay.
On special secretary level also there are various other posts also. It may be you may also be the collector of some major district.
Yes.
In that case, that is also
Okay, sir.
okay. Fine. So tell me, this is your third attempt, okay?
Yes.
God forbid if you are not selected in this attempt, what are you going to do? Chronologically tell me. So suppose today result has come out
Yes.
and you found that your name is not in the list. So from today, what would be your plan of action? What would you be doing? Chronologically, you can tell me.
Sir, in case God forbid I don't get selected, sir, I will again try and I will start my preparation from the next day itself. I will pick up myself, and I will be giving my next attempt, and I will continue the process till I don't get selected, sir.
Any type of analysis that you will do, how you will do it?
Sir, like I will, sir, after the results are over, within 10 days or within 2 or 3 days, sir, the marks are final marks are, sir, published. So I will see where my marks were less, and I will try to improve in those areas after doing a SWOT analysis, sir.
But how you will do that? You will
So, in for example, if my marks are less in my optionals, then I will approach a proper person who can guide me, and I will tell.
Will you get a copy of your? Will you apply for a copy of your answer sheet?
Yes, yes, sir. I will be applying for a copy of my answer sheet also. Since the OPSC they have also started this grievance redressal mechanism, I will ask for my answer copies, sir.
Suppose you are, Tahsildar of a place,
Yes, sir.
and your district collector calls you and apprises you of a situation where, within 1 or 2 hours, some notorious elements are spreading fake news and videos in your area. Okay, and that may lead to a commonly sensitive situation, right? He asks you to take the steps to stop it, right? So chronologically, tell me what would be your action.
Sir, first, after getting this message from the collector, sir, I will be first doing a ground check with my subordinate officers that has the thing happened, and what was the actual cause, or was it just a fake news. First I will verify it, sir, at my own personal level. Then this will be my first thing. If it is found to be fake, sir, I will immediately inform the press if it has been published through the press media, and I will ask them to just verify before publishing. Third thing is, I will take legal action against those who have initiated and started spreading these kind of fake news and fake messages, and I will take the help of the police also, and I will apprehend, I'll ask them to apprehend the accused, means the people through a inquiry, proper inquiry. This will be my steps, and I will ensure that these kind of fake news don't get published in the future through means awareness campaigns through the use of social media at my own block level and block level. So.
Okay. So yesterday London was in news. Why? Have you heard you have done your 10th from ICS, right?
Yes.
So there's a poem, not a poem, a rhyme called London Bridge is falling down. Have you heard?
I don't remember, sir. Not.
I'm telling you because something related to London Bridge. Something happened in London Bridge yesterday.
I'm not aware of it, sir. I'll go through it.
Okay. And what is the top national news of the last 2 or 3 days?
So it is the Maharashtra politics, sir.
Maharashtra politics, okay. Apart from that, anything constructive?
So constructive is like so first thing is like the president of new president of Sri Lanka, he has visited. That is like really international news, and India has donated around $450 million line of credit to Sri Lanka. And so third thing is like
what is the equation between the current dispensation in Sri Lanka and Indian government generally?
So during the term of Mahinda Rajapaksa, so he was the main person to eliminate the LTT, and he was against the Tamilians. So the relationship between India and Sri Lanka was not that good during that time, because at that time.
Or was that the only reason? And his proximity to China?
Yes, his proximity to China, as well as the development of the Hambantota port which they have given to China. These were the things which has caused friction with Sri Lanka. But it was after this election of Gotabaya Rajapaksa as president now, the relationships have improved in the last 2 to 3 days, which can be seen as our external affairs minister S. Jaishankar immediately visited Sri Lanka and offered an invitation letter. And this is India has been the first destination which has been visited by Gotabaya Rajapaksa in the recent times, and we can see that the relations will be improving in the coming days, and the inclination of Sri Lanka towards China may be checked through these diplomatic efforts.
What is the situation of the economic development, rate of growth, etc. in India and China? Compare both.
So India, since the last 5 years, it was growing at an average rate of 7%. But recently, before 2 days, only the news has come that the India's growth has declined to 4.5% of the GDP.
And which type of growth is that? That is nominal growth or real growth?
So that is nominal growth.
Nominal growth.
Yes.
Then?
So there has been, and the index of industrial production in the industrial manufacturing sector has also not grown. This was also in the news. And the core sector growth was the main thing that has been responsible. In agricultural sector also, sir, we have not been able to grow. The growth has only been 1.5 to 2% in the last few years. And there has been a decline in the sales of, and automobile sector has also, sir, not been performing well since the last few years. This is the growth journey of India, and sir, when we compare it with China, China has already industrialized at a high level, sir, because of which they are not able to grow at high rates, and their growth has been mostly limited to 4 to 5% in the last 4 to 5 years. So they are now going and investing in other countries because their domestic demand has almost come to a saturated position, because of which they are trying to invest in global areas and other countries to stimulate their growth now. And India has mostly been driven by the services sector and dominated by the services sector. So, but in China, the growth was mostly driven by the manufacturing and the industrial sector.
What is the current relation between India and Iran?
Sir, India-Iran relationship has always been good. Was always been good, but after the US sanctions on Iran under the after US withdrew from the JCPOA Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, US has demanded many of its nations to stop oil imports from Iran. And since India cannot cannot withstand to take the US sanctions, it has started declining its oil imports from Iran, which was nearly 10%. Our 10% of our oil imports were from Iran, but now India has started reducing it, and it will go back to almost zero in the coming time. So India is trying to balance its relation in the Middle East now, and though the relation between both the countries is not that bonhomic, but so it is not that bad also, since India is investing in the development of the Chabahar port, which will help us to gain access to the Central Asia, and these are the things which impact our relationship with Iran.
Okay. So that will be the end of the interview. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.